Character is not revealed by never causing harm. Listen to what I'm saying real quick. You know, if you got to go early, you got to get this part. Character, somebody's character is revealed by what someone does after the truth comes out. Right? After the truth comes out, who are they? That's when character is revealed. That's why I tell people you can't trust no people if you can't trust them if you haven't been through no seasons with them. Because when they fail, how do they treat you? So tonight, very clearly, I want to talk to the people who finally found the courage to tell somebody, you hurt me. Yes, I want to talk to you tonight. I want to talk to the person, you were not trying to start that argument, and you were not trying to embarrass them. You was not trying to make them feel like a terrible person. I want to talk to you tonight. You simply, when you told this person about themselves, you simply wanted them to understand what happened inside you, how they hurt you, how they messed you up. Yeah, you thought the conversation might sound like this. I did not realize that I hurt you. Yeah, I didn't realize that I hurt you. Help me understand. Help me, please. Help me, please. Help me understand what you felt. And sometimes you think people are going to be saying this to you, but they simply don't. They really don't. Yeah. And some people, their response is very different. Their response is very different. I'm just saying. Man, you thought they were gonna tell you, I can see why that affected you. So let me blah blah blah. And you thought they were gonna tell you, I need to take responsibility for my part. And you thought this whole time, if you was to tell this person about themselves, they would say something like this. I need to take responsibility for my part. But the moment you told them what hurt you, the entire conversation changed. Are you listening? Suddenly, your tone became the problem. Your timing became the problem. You ever had somebody tell you just coming to tell me the stuff at the wrong time? But when you tell them at this time, you tell them at that time, you tell them at this time, every timing is a problem. Yeah, I'm talking about them tonight. Yeah, the person they said your reaction became the problem. Something you did 6 months ago became the problem. When you confront somebody about something they're doing. Do anybody know what I'm saying today? Because today is going to be a powerful time, I'm telling you. Now they bring up every good thing they have ever done for you. And this is major. This is major. We're talking about real character tonight. We're talking about real character tonight. I'm trying to teach you and show you in this therapy session tonight how to tell this person's character. You need to learn this tonight because there's something in your mind, you still got hope. But I'm about to give you some clarity tonight, and it may hurt you. When you tell them something, now they are telling you that you misunderstood them. And people, when you tell them how much they hurt you, they say you too sensitive. And then they say that you always make everything bigger than it is. Well, when you tired of getting hurt, sometimes it is what it is. I'm just saying. And then they always talk about, you make me look like the bad person. And before the conversation is over, the person who entered the room hurt is now apologizing. I'm telling you, we got some gaslighters that will make you feel like you the problem and that it was your fault that you hurt yourself. It was your fault that you went out here and you did this. It was your fault. I don't understand sometimes when you got a good situation and then you make this woman she the problem. When you got a good situation and you just went and just happened to go meet somebody else and do something different and got caught up, and then now she the problem when you really had a good situation. And then she coming to you and saying, you know what, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I wasn't there for you. And I don't understand what I wasn't doing right, but yeah, baby, you been gaslighted, he gas. I'm just telling you the truth. And this is how it be in this world. Sometimes when you are right, people make you feel like you're wrong because of their character. The person who caused the pain is now the victim. Do anybody know what I'm talking about tonight? Because I'm just telling you, this is what happens all the time. The person who caused the pain, now they are the victim now. The original issue never gets addressed. Nope. Somebody knows exactly what I'm talking about tonight. I can promise you that. Somebody knows exactly what I'm talking about tonight. If you know exactly what I'm talking about tonight, drop some fire emojis in the comment. I want to make sure I'm talking to a people who's ready to hear what I'm talking about today, because this is very important. This is something serious. This is something serious. I'm telling you right now, this is something serious. This is something very serious. You walked into a conversation asking for an understanding and walked out questioning yourself. Now all you was doing is just trying to tell somebody, look, what you're doing is really, I don't like that. And now you questioning yourself. And yeah, this is how you stop believing in your own choices. You understand what I'm saying? How about you start wondering, did I do something wrong? Did I explain it wrong? Was I too emotional? Maybe I should not have brought it up. Yeah. This be some real stuff. I'm just trying to get you to understand something tonight. I'm just saying tonight is going to be a real good night. I'm just telling you, get you some tea, because you need this tonight. You need this. You need this tonight, because you say things to yourself like, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm too serious. And yeah. And that is what makes sense. That is what makes this type of pain so confusing. You be so confusing now. It's not only what they did. It is what happened when you tried to talk about it. When you tried to go to them and say, look, you hurt me. Yeah. When you went over there and you said, look, you hurt me. I want to say this though. Everybody can make a mistake. Everybody can misunderstand somebody. Everybody can speak carelessly. Everybody can have an immature moment. That is true. But see, you learn a lot about a person when the truth about their behavior enters the room. I'm about to teach you some things tonight. I'm telling you right now. We're doing really great with our likes tonight. Make sure you're liking and sharing and definitely boosting our community, sending those heart me's and those roses so that we could definitely get seen in the algorithm, so that we could really have one of the greatest communities on TikTok. Yeah, TRC strong. But see, you learn a lot about the person when the truth about their behavior enters the room. Do they become curious about your pain, or do they become defensive about their image? Are you listening? Do they reflect, or do they retaliate when you come up with the issue of the problem? Bro, do she reflect on you, or do she retaliate? And you know what it means to retaliate. That's very simple. A person that retaliate, they gonna try to find something you did 2007 and bring it up. Do they repair, or do they overwrite, or do they rewrite the story? I'm just telling you how this thing works. Do they take the responsibility, or do they put your reaction on trial so their behavior never has to testify? Tonight, we're not only talking about what they did wrong, we are answering the deeper questions. Did you just hear what I just said? We're not just talking about what they did wrong tonight. We are answering the deeper questions. Yeah. What do you do when someone refuses to acknowledge what happened? Think about what I'm saying real quick. How do you stop questioning your own experience? And you explaining to them, look, this is what I feel. How do you question? How do you stop questioning your own experience? Yes. Yeah. How can you tell whether real repair is possible? We're going to answer this question tonight. Is your relationship really repairable? You should know this. And sometimes you have to get these type of answers from therapy, somebody who can give you solid wisdom and clarity. Another question I'm going to answer tonight is, how do you heal when the apology you deserve never comes? How do you heal when the apology you deserved never comes? Because what they do after hurting you, it reveals their character. Did you just hear what I just said? I want you to drop one word for me. If this is already talking to you, I want you to drop accountability. Yes, drop that word accountability for me tonight. If this is already talking to you, drop that word for me, accountability for me, if you would. I want to see a person who right now who feel like the person that hurt them should have some type of accountability, and that you believe in accountability. And every time you try to hold somebody accountable, you end up becoming the suspect somehow. It's your fault. Yeah. And as we're getting deep into this thing, I want to say this before we get started. This is not about expecting perfection. I've never said anybody is perfect. I've never said people wouldn't have mistakes. I never said people wouldn't have, disagreements. This is not tonight about labeling somebody as an evil person because they made one mistake. This is not that type of conversation. This is not about pretending that we have never caused pain ourselves. And each and every one of us, we definitely made some people mad. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, if you made somebody mad before, I want you to put I did that. I want to know somebody that's honest tonight. I did that. Yeah, I like to be petty sometimes. Sometimes God be working on me, because sometimes petty, yeah, I did that. Yep, I did it because you thought you were going to keep getting by and I was going to never. Sometimes I'm human. Some days I'm not as strong as other days, and most of the days I'm strong. But if you catch me on the low, if you catch me when I'm drinking, you might mess around here and yeah, I did it. So this is not pretending. I'm not pretending tonight like I've never caused the pain. And this is what we have to do sometimes in therapy. We have to remind ourselves that, dang, bro, we really have done some stuff too. Tonight is about emotional maturity. If you want somebody to love you right, they should be loving you in a mature way. You don't want no immature love. No, you don't want no immature love. Immature love don't know how to act right. Yeah, they don't know how to act right. Tonight is about how we respond when somebody tells us our behavior hurt them. Yeah. And it is about learning that another person's denial does not mean you have to keep arguing for the right to feel what you felt. Yeah. And there's a lot of us right now. We argue right now. We argue right now for the right to feel what we felt. You don't have to prove somebody is a terrible person to admit that their behavior hurt you. I want you to drop one word for me. Drop the word reflect. If you are willing to examine both sides tonight, honestly, because we're going to talk about both sides tonight. I want you to drop the word reflect. Yeah. Reflect. This is reflection time. We're going to look at both sides. If you in a relationship right now, maybe y'all need to be on here. I'm just saying, we're looking at both sides tonight. This is very powerful. This is very, very, very powerful. Let's get this thing started. We're going to start off with a real pain. The real pain of this. And tonight, if you're just now joining me, it is very, very simple what we're talking about tonight. What they do after hurting you reveals their character. That is what we're talking about. If you're just now joining me, and that is what we're talking about. But the real pain is not always only the original thing that they did. It's not always the original offense. Sometimes the deeper wound comes from what happened when you tried to address it, when you tried to speak up about this. You have been willing to understand the mistake. You do. And I would say that everybody, you may have been willing to understand the mistake. You may have accepted that they were emotional at the time. You may even have believed they did not intend their words to land like they did. You know, sometimes those words, they be landing, bro. Straight up. I just tell a man, if she going off on you and she say some things and she call you ugly and call you fat and whatever, just don't say it back. Because it ain't no other ways you can say that word back and it's gonna land right. I'm just giving you some game. I'm just giving you some game. You call a woman ugly and fat, brother, count your days. Just count your days. I'm telling you, count your days. And you heard it from me first. You heard it from me first. See, when she get him, we got to get him a pass, bro. I don't understand. It's a double standard. It's a double standard. You call them that? Oh my God! It's woo! It's finna be on and popping up and up. Well, I'm talking about you ain't getting no sleep at all. She'll sit there and stare at you. She'll stare at you while you sleep. Well, you know you in some. Well, you know you in some talk. When she stare at you while you sitting there just staring at you while you watching TV, she knows she in your peripheral, but she just standing up like this. Oh man, yeah, that's a crazy situation. Woo! Hey, you might want to watch out. I'm just saying, you might want to watch out. That's a crazy situation. Yeah. But then you brought it to them and they dismissed you. Yeah. They minimized you. Let's get back on track. They mocked your emotions. When you told them how they hurt you, they mocked your emotions. They denied details. Yeah. They denied details. You both know that happened. You ever tell somebody they done something wrong to you, and all of a sudden they say they deny the details, but you know it happened. Ooh, you can't stand that. You know it happened, but they deny the details. And then they made you feel guilty for mentioning it. And now you're carrying two wounds. I'm out to help you process something real quick. You're carrying two wounds. Oh, I hope my brother home that was in the men to men, because you need to hear this. You're carrying two wounds now. The wound from what happened, and the wound of realizing they do not care enough to face it. Yeah. That's the real pain. And that second wound, it hurt differently. That's a different type of pain, because it tells you my pain is inconvenient to them. You understand what I'm saying? My pain is inconvenient to them. My experience only matters if it does not challenge their image. You understand? What I really going through with them, it don't matter. Yeah. I'm just saying, it only matters if it don't challenge their image. They want access to me without responsibility for how they affected me. And when this happens repeatedly over and over again, guess what? You can start abandoning yourself. And this is how it happens. You start abandoning what you really want out of a person. You start abandoning yourself and what you really deserve and how you should be treated. Bro, she started treating you like trash now. And then you just abandon yourself and say, I've just got to get what I can get, sis. Now you out here talking about, you know what, he got a good job. So, I'm just going to, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep my mouth closed and I'm just going to leave it alone. Are you crazy? I'm just saying, you start rehearsing every sentence before you speak. Now you're walking on eggshells now. You soften to everything. You remove details. You apologize before you explain yourself. Can I say something? Can I say something? You don't mind? I can speak real quick, do you? Because before I say this, I just want to apologize, but I just want to tell you how I feel. Is you all right? You say, I am not trying to argue. Yeah, you be like, I am not trying to argue. Yeah, I'm not trying to be, I'm not saying you a bad person. You be telling them like, maybe I'm wrong. I'm just telling you what us going. Maybe I'm wrong. And then you say, I know you did not mean it. And you spend so much time protecting them from discomfort that you never get to tell the truth about your pain. You too busy trying to protect them in their discomfort. This is some real life stuff that happens. And so I just want you to just pay attention just really, really quick. Because this probably be why you're so exhausting. You're tired. Because a relationship cannot feel emotionally safe when only one person is allowed to have an experience. One person is only allowed to say when they hurt. One person is only able to have feelings about when things go wrong and they don't like it. I want you to write this down. I got some note takers. Soon you'll have my journal. Some people do not fear hurting you as much as they fear being seen as someone who hurt you. Write that down, and I want you to think about that. Some people do not fear hurting you as much as they fear being seen as someone who hurt you. Yeah, that might be a little bit above your head, And you got to say it really slow. Write it down, say it really slow, and you'll get it. I want you to drop these 3 words for me. I trust myself. If you're done abandoning your own experience, and this is how you get yourself to a special healing. I trust myself. Yeah. I want to deal with the mind real quick. I want to give you something psychologically to think about just for a moment. Some people have built their identity around being the good one. You only know them for being the good one, the helpful one, and the victim. Some people build their identity around the spiritual one. Yeah, they go places and they they the spiritual one. Girl, let me tell you what I done heard, girl. Yeah. Brother, let me tell you something, brother. Yes. Yeah. So some people have built this image about themselves. They have built their identity around the victim, the spiritual one, the one who always means well. So when somebody says, you hurt me, they don't hear information about their behavior. I'm just saying, you be too saved to make a mistake. And you be like, hey, I'm too spiritual. I don't make those mistakes. And somebody tell you you hurt them, you hear. I'm just saying, they don't hear information about their behavior. They hear an attack because they feel like it is attack against their identity. It's just as the same as a man who's told he's cheating, but he's really not, and he's really a good, faithful man. That is attack against his identity. It is the same bruise. You understand what I'm saying? But some people, just imagine what I'm saying. Think about this for a minute. Some people have built their identity around being the good one. They don't make mistakes. They treat everybody else right. The helpful one, they help everybody. The victim, they're the ones that's always being victimized. People are always doing them wrong. So when they hear somebody tell them that, look, you're hurting me now, they don't hear information about their behavior. They hear an attack against their identity, against who they say they is. They don't hear that one of your actions cause pain. They hear, you are a horrible person. Are you listening? I'm giving you something to think about so that you can actually have full context. And because they cannot tolerate that feeling, their mind begins protecting the image. They can't tolerate feeling like they have hurt you. They can't tolerate feeling like, oh, I can never be this person. You can never make me this person. I am exempt from that. I can treat you like trash, but it's just because I do it and it's no problem. And their mind begins to protect the image. They explain and then they deflect and then they blame and they have a reason to minimize it. And then they focus on your reaction now. Then they rewrite the details. I don't understand sometimes. A person really do you wrong and they rewrite the detail. They try to tell you how you feel. I'm just saying, you can't tell that woman how to feel. And sis, you can't tell that man what he feels. Not everyone consistently plans to manipulate the conversation. Not everyone consciously. They don't plan to just manipulate the conversation. Sometimes shame has made honesty feel unsafe to them. Yeah. Listen to what I'm saying real quick, because this is finna get good. I want you to hear what I'm saying, because look, understanding why somebody becomes defensive does not mean you have to keep accepting the damage their defensiveness creates. You don't got to do that. Their history may explain their response. It does not make the response healthy. See, a mature person can tolerate the discomfort of hearing. Yeah. And when a mature person, you tell them, look, you hurt me. They ain't gonna be doing all this collapsing and telling you so you think I'm a bad person. They can hold two truths. A mature person. That's why I tell you, you want somebody that's gonna give you that mature love. I don't know why you want this immature stuff. I don't know why you want this stuff that ain't about nothing. You should want a real deal mature love. But they can hold two truths. I'm just saying. They can hold two truths. Yeah. They really can. They might be like, look, I may be a person who wants to do good, and I still cause harm in this situation. That is maturity. And that's a person say, I may be a good person who wants to really do good. I may be a spiritual person. I'm trying to live right. You know, I ain't perfect. But they can understand that, yeah, I still cause harm in this situation. That is maturity. Accountability is not out here saying that I am irredeemable. Accountability is not just saying you're just bad. Accountability says I'm responsible for what I did and I am willing to change what needs to change. And if you really think about it, that's really all people want in a relationship. Why don't you just sometimes, it's simple, man. It's just change. The thing is, you know when people ain't for you because they not going to change. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down really quickly. A fragile ego hears correction as condemnation. A fragile ego hears correction as condemnation. A mature heart hears correction as an opportunity to grow. I'm giving you the game right now. You can learn a lot in therapy when you're dealing with people in these relationships. A fragile ego, it hears correction as something wrong, as an attack. I told you that ego is the most expensive emotion. Yes. But a mature heart, it hears correction as an opportunity to grow. I want you to drop these 3 words. Own your part if you're choosing to grow over defensiveness. Yes. Yes. Own your part if you're choosing to grow over defensiveness. Yeah, we got to grow over that. I want to give you something to think about really quickly. I want to give you something to think about very quickly. Really quickly. I'm going to give you something to think about. Think about, imagine, right? Somebody spills a bucket of dark paint across your brand new clean carpet. Just imagine. Yeah. Just imagine they spilled this blue paint on your white carpet. You hired them to come and, do a little touch-up paint, and, somebody messed around here and spilled a whole bucket of dark blue paint on your white carpet. You look down and say, you damaged something. And instead of getting a towel, they begin explaining, I did not mean to spill it. You should not have left the bucket there. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. And I say, they blaming you now. And then they'll tell you stuff like, oh, the carpet was already old anyway, but the carpet was clean. And then they say, you're acting like I ruined the whole house. And then they'll tell you, why are you always focusing on what I do wrong? You'll be very shocked to know that you can really hire people who talk like this. I know it sounds strange, but this is true. This is real. You will be surprised how people will talk back to you when it's really their fault. But while they are defending themselves, the paint is still soaking deeper in the carpet. Their intentions may explain the spill, but it does not clean the stain. And this is what happens in many relationships. One person is left on the floor trying to clean up the emotional damage, while the other person stands over them explaining why they should not be upset. See, a mature person, they may still say, I did not mean to spill it. But then they get down on the floor and they bring the towels and they help you clean. They ask, what can be restored? And can we make this thing right? They become more careful with the paint next time. And that is accountability. And it does not only explain what happened, it participates in the repair. Are you listening? Yeah. Are you listening? Very, 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 very important. I want you to write this down real quick. Write this down. Write this down real quick. Intentions explain the spill. Accountability helps clean the stain. Yeah, write that down. Write that down real quick. Write that down. This is good for you. This is really, really good for you. This is good for you. We're trying to help you understand. Look, if you're just now joining tonight, our topic is what they do after hurting you. It reveals their character. See, God is trying to explain and he's trying to show you through wisdom a person's character. And sometimes you need to be in therapy sessions just like this to be able to understand a person's character with clarity. So you don't have this hope. And so you've been hoping in a low life. You've been hoping in somebody that is not great for you. You've been hoping in somebody that is not good for you. You've been hoping and wasting your time on people who are never going to be what you want them to be because they're not mature enough. They don't have the capacity enough. Yeah. I want to give you another truth. Some relationships stay damaged because one person keeps explaining the spill while the other person is left cleaning it alone. And this is a big thing that happens right now. Somebody messes up in the relationship and one person is the only person trying to fix it. And the other person is just, I don't even know. Whatever. Drop repair it if you understand what I'm saying right now. If you understand that an apology must lead towards repair, drop repair it. Because I don't think that people understand that, an apology, there should be a repair coming behind it. Oh, I'm sorry. What do I need to do to change it? Oh, cuz I did something wrong, cuz. Okay. This same logic is not only for a relationship. This is a logic that is in life. If you a king, you need to understand as a king, you need to understand if you got mature people around you to build with. Because if you building with immature people, when they break something, you the problem. No, you need people that can apologize and say, hey, look, what do I need to do to get it right? I've had some people that I've hired over the years and they still work for me to this day. If they mess up bad, they mess up bad. And they like, I don't know what I need to do. I don't know how I'm going to fix this, Mr. Lee. But look, hey, I take full responsibility. I'm just saying. The truth of the matter about this is this. Their refusal to acknowledge what happened does not erase your experience. See, you experience what they did. But even though they don't want to admit it, it does not erase the fact that they did that. But their response, it gives you important information. Now, this is what I want you to pay attention to. The way that they respond to you, it gives you important information. It shows you whether they can listen without attacking, whether they can take responsibility without becoming the victim, whether they could care more about repair than protecting their reputation. Are you listening to me right now? I'm putting you on game right now. It can also tell whether they are emotionally safe enough to keep the same level of access to your heart. Just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. Remember this. Accountability does not only reveal regret. Yeah. Oh my God, they say that I'm frozen. Let me see. Let me wait a minute. Let me wait a minute. Can you see me? Can you see me good? Because we cooking right now. Can you still hear my voice? Okay. All right. We good. Okay. We good. Okay. I want you to write this down. Accountability does not only reveal regret, it reveals whether the relationship has emotional tools to heal. Okay? Write that down. Don't miss this. Accountability does not only reveal regret, it reveals whether the relationship has the emotional tools to heal. Are you listening? Do you get what I'm saying? Write that down. You're going to need to understand this. You're going to need to go back to your notes one day and you're going to need to say, look, if they cannot be accountable, this might be telling me something right now. Whether the relationship has the emotional tools to heal. All right. I want to give you 3 points tonight. What I want right now, you know, I want to know of people right now, you want real change in your relationship. If you want real change, I want you to drop that in the comments. I want real change. Yeah. You want me to repeat that one more time? I will. Accountability does not only reveal regret, it reveals whether the relationship has the emotional tools to heal. Write that down. I want you to comment the word real change. Real change. If you believe that healing requires more than words, I want you to drop real change. See, this is one token of wisdom right here that you have to know. I tell men right now, bro, if she's not going to be accountable, it's going to reveal in your relationship whether it has the emotional tools to heal. No accountability, no one heals. On either side of the spectrum. And this is a major thing. No accountability, no real effort. It's not gonna heal. So I'm giving you clarity tonight. This is clarity. You can't try to pull something right from something that will always be wrong. Some person, they just got the same patterns. I want to give you three points tonight. I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible. Point number 1, write this down. I'm going to roll right into this. Write this down. Their response after causing harm reveals their maturity. Write that down. Write that down. Their response after causing harm reveals their maturity. Yeah. Their response after causing harm reveals their maturity. This is our first point. Everybody gets something wrong. Everybody in this world have blind spots. Even when you driving, you got a blind spot. Have you ever got ready to get over and you ain't see that car? Yeah. And you almost, and it almost, you know, I'm just saying, this is the real deal truth. Yeah. This is the real, everybody in this world, we get something wrong. I don't care who you are. You're not perfect. You gonna get something wrong in this world. Everybody has blind spots. Yep. Yeah. Everybody can misunderstand someone they love. Yeah. True story. Everybody can cause harm they never intended to cause. Everybody. Everybody. So the standard cannot be this. The standard can't be never hurt me. That's not realistic. You know how people get in relationships and they be like, you know, they get in relationships and they be like, don't ever hurt me. Just, I got one rule, don't ever hurt me. Baby, that ain't realistic. Like, come on now. I'm just saying, sis, come on now. You be talking about they never hurt me. That's not realistic. The healthier question should be this: what happens when I tell you that I'm hurt? Are you listening to what I'm saying today? Dudes do the same thing. Look, I got one rule. Don't ever hurt me, shawty. You feel me? Like, yeah, like, you know, hey, whatever you need, I'm there. You know, all I'm saying, don't hurt me. I don't want to be hurt. Bro, that ain't realistic. That's not realistic. You know, she gonna hurt you some type of way. At one point, she got blind spots. She ain't perfect. You know, she might do something wrong. She didn't know that was wrong. She might have been raised a certain way and she thought something was right, so she didn't know it was wrong. So the question should be, what happens when I tell you that I am hurt? Do you pause? Do you listen? Do you become curious? Do you ask questions? Do you care enough to understand the impact? Or do you immediately begin building a defense? There's a difference between saying, I did not mean to hurt you, and saying, I did not mean to hurt you, but I can see that I did. Do you know that's a real difference? That's a real difference. The second sentence, hold intention and impact in the same room. See, it does not require the person to confess to an intention they never had, but it does requires them to acknowledge that their behavior still affected somebody. A mature response sounds like this: tell me what part hurt you. You understand what I'm saying? Tell me what part hurt you. A mature response sounds like this: I understand why that felt dismissive. I can see that my words affected you, and I can see that I need to take a responsibility for that. I want to make sure that I don't repeat this again. But an immature response, it sounds like you took it wrong. This is your issue. You too sensitive. I cannot say anything around you because you get so offended every time I just say anything. An immature person says, you always make me the bad person. Well, the immature person be the gaslighters and the Yeah, I'm just saying. One response create a bridge. The other creates a wall. And you need to stop judging relationships only by how good they feel when everything is comfortable. You should pay attention to what happens when truth becomes uncomfortable. I think you should pay attention to how they handle disappointments. I think you should pay attention to whether your pain creates empathy or irritation, because somebody can be loving when you agree with them. Yeah. And they can be emotionally unsafe when you confront them. Is this making sense to you? I hope I'm not moving too fast. You may have to go get the replay. Man, I'm trying to go as slow as possible. I want you to write this down real quick. I want you to write this down. I want you to write this down. A mistake reveals your humanity. Your response reveals your maturity. Write that down. I think that is very important for you. Write that down. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, a mistake reveals your humanity. Your response reveals maturity. I want you to write this down too. Character is not never being wrong. You see, people, they say they got character. Character is not never being wrong. Character is what you do after truth finds you. After the clarity, after the truth, what's right after it finds you, that's what reveals your character. I'm just saying. I would say do not only listen for an apology. I would tell you to watch whether a person can stay present with your pain without punishing you for expressing it. Did you just hear what I just said? I'm giving you an answer. I'm giving you the real keys right now. I'm giving you the real sauce. Yeah. Let me say this again. I want to make sure you get this. I'm giving you the sauce. Do not only listen for somebody's apology. Watch whether they can stay present with your pain without punishing you for expressing how you feel. I want you to drop the word reflect. If you are willing to examine yourself before defending yourself. Because sometimes we be having to reflect sometimes. And sometimes we have to reflect if we the one that's doing this. Can't stand an immature. I can't stand an immature person. I'm just saying, I don't want no immature love. I can't grow with that. We talking about a team. And if every time I go to my teammate and I say, look, every time you pass me the ball, you ain't looking and you keep hitting me in the back of the head. Every time I'm just out there playing boop, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Every time. And then when I come to you and I say, every time I'm not looking, boop, I'm getting hit in the head and I'm trying to, and this is what be happening in real life. Yeah. I'm just saying, you trying to build something with somebody and you trying to grow with somebody, but every time you talk about what hurts you, it's their problem. They're too immature to receive what you're saying. You can't grow with nobody like that. They gotta be accountability. Okay, what I gotta do? Okay, so you wait till we make eye contact or something. You wait till my body is at least turned or something. I see the ball coming. I'm just saying. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next point. Somebody says, put that in a shirt. Oh, you gonna see. Yeah, you gonna see. I promise you're gonna see. You're gonna see. Point number two. When accountability threatens the ego rewrites the story. We about to talk about something now. I promise you, it's gonna get a little juicy. You may want to leave the room right now. When accountability threatens the ego rewrites the story. I told you, ego is one heck of a emotion. That bad boy just be emotion, and I'm just saying. And that bad boy just be messing your life up. Ego is a problem. And that pride is a problem. When accountability threatens your pride or your ego, your pride and your ego rewrites the entire story. You try to tell somebody else how they feel. And this happens when accountability threatens them. And this is where people begins questioning themselves. Because you know what happened. You remember the words. You remember the tone. You remember the pattern. But when you bring it up, the other person tells a completely different version. They tell their version. I'm just saying, their version, it removes what they did. Do anybody know what I'm talking about tonight? I'm just saying. And we talking about people who are trying to work relationships out, friendships, families. You know, you got stuff going on and it's like, I'm trying to heal things around me. But now they got a completely different story. It highlights everything you did after being hurt. Yeah, even if you had to put a whooping on them, you know. Yeah, you talk. I had to put a whooping. You know, I'm just saying. Sometimes you get in a fight with your cousin or something. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes it's just you put a whoop. You had to put a whooping on them. You know, you had to put a whooping on them. They highlight everything you did after you got hurt. They leave out the disrespect. Just imagine this being in a relationship, though. And after you went and you had to get a hotel room and you had to just be by yourself, you just had to leave for a few days. It highlights everything you did after being hurt. They leave out the disrespect. But they focus on your anger. They leave out the betrayal. But they too busy focusing on your anger, but they leave out the betrayal. But they focus on how you confronted them. And then they leave out the months of neglect. But then focus on the day that finally broke you down, that finally broke you. And then now the conversation is no longer about what triggered the reaction. The reaction becomes the whole story now. You for the streets now. Yeah. You this bad person now. Write this down real quick. Your reaction may need accountability too. But it should not be used to erase what triggered you. Write that down. I think you need to write that down. See, your reaction, it may need accountability too. You probably shouldn't have did what you did. You probably went a little bit too far. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Because you human. Your reaction may need accountability too, but it should not be used to erase what triggered it. You can own that. And you can own that and still address what happened before it happened. I'm just saying. Just like if you was yelling and now all of a sudden, yeah, I can own it. I can yell it. I can own what I did. I can own this stuff. You can own that your delivery was imperfect and still tell the truth about why you were hurting. And you can take responsibility for your part without carrying responsibility for the entire situation. But when somebody is committed to protecting their ego, every conversation becomes a courtroom. Yeah, I can't stand relationships like this. Every conversation, when they so protect, they want to protect their spirituality. I don't care how saved you is, you still be sinning. He that says he has no sin is a liar. I'm sorry. I didn't make that. You say you don't never. Okay, you ain't never lie. You don't lie. Okay, bet. All right, bet. I know. I'm just saying. I'm reading the same thing you read. And you so spiritual. You can't be corrected. Boy. I'm just saying. This was because some preachers and some community leaders, they think because they got status that they can never be wrong. Do you know who I am? I remember being a young man and the pastor gonna tell me, who are you to come and tell me that I'm wrong? I said, I'm Mark Lee Jr., I'm me. And what you preaching in the church is false doctrine. Boy, I was bold. Hey, I've been bold my whole life. You hear me? Oh my goodness. I went to the pastor. I went to the bishop. Yeah, you're wrong. Yeah, and I was ready to fight everybody in there. I'm like, look, I don't care about none of that. Y'all in here preaching sedition in the church. What you mean? People can't hang with other people because they don't believe what you believe. What's going on here? I said, this is what kind of cult is this? And then, hey, back in them days, I wasn't all the way there yet. So it could have actually got ugly in the church. This is a real story. Maybe I need to put this in the book one day. I really need to put this in the book. I'm just saying, you committed. You so committed because of your title. You want to protect your ego. Every conversation becomes a courtroom, and you say, "Who are you to come in here and judge what I'm saying?" This is how it be in relationships. Yeah, I'm just saying. They're not listening to understand you. You think they're not listening to understand you. They are listening for something they can use in their defense. And at that time they was using, you too young. You can't tell me nothing. Oh, you want to despise my youth, but you want to lead all of these people astray. I'm just saying. Every sentence to people like this becomes evidence. Every emotion becomes proof that you're unstable. So when they see me square up, they say, he unstable. He can't be saved. No, I'm saved. And I told you I tried Jesus. You can't try me. Don't come in here, because I can go toe to toe. Yeah. What Martin tell Tommy? Yeah, I can go toe to toe. In the church. What was his name? Ride Dog. What was his name? Yeah. I'm just saying I can go toe to toe with the big boys. Yeah, with the big boys. Yeah, I'm just saying. But in reality, this is what happens in conversations, though. Every emotion becomes proof that you're unstable. So when you yelling and you screaming and, you unstable. And every detail becomes something to debate. But think about what you did, case building. And after enough of those type of conversations, you begin to distrust yourself. Now, you can't trust yourself. You start keeping screenshots, replaying conversations, and writing down dates. And not because you want conflict, but because you are trying to reassure yourself that you are not imagining the pattern. You want to know why she crazy, why she writing this stuff down, and why she taking screenshots of the date that she's seen somebody like you, or she's yeah. You want to know why? Because she's trying to reassure herself that she's just not imagining a pattern. Tonight, I need you to hear this. I need you to hear this. I just dropped some amazing gems. I'm serious. That right there, if you ain't getting nothing, you're gonna have to go to get the replay. Cause we got one more point left. We got one more point left. We got one more point left. Sometimes it's good to explain these things. This is what therapy is about. You have to process this. You have to think about this. You have to get it out. You have to understand it, because a lot of times you don't understand it. You can't explain it. But tonight I need you to hear this. Their denial does not automatically make your memory false. Yeah. Write that down. Their denial does not automatically make your memory false. And their confidence does not automatically make their version true. I don't care about them being confident with their ego and having their pride lifted up. It does not make their version few. I don't care about them being confident of them being a spiritual person or a community person or a good person. Their confidence does not automatically make their version true. You got a lot of lying spiritual people. And you got a lot of people who put on this show for everybody else, but they ain't what they is. And don't nobody know them like you, because you live with them and have to deal with them every day. Their refusal to validate you does not make your pain invalid. Did you just hear what I just said? Their refusal to validate you does not make your pain invalid. It's still pain, it's still hurt. And that's why healing also requires wisdom. And that's why your healing requires wisdom. Do not let the need to prove your version trap you into endless arguments. You will never win an argument with a fool. I'm sorry. Yeah. You can't win with that foolish person. There comes a point when you have to stop asking, how do I make them admit it? There's some people right now on my live. You have been trying right now so bad you've been telling yourself, what do I need to do to make them admit it? Some people take whatever they did, they taking it down with them. They'll never tell you. They got an image to protect. They don't want you to know that they're dirty, they're nasty, they're the scum of. They don't want you to know that they're scum. They don't want you to know this. They have an image to protect because they want to be perfect in your mind. They want to be perfect because if everybody really knew the truth about what they really did, it will make them look like the scum of the earth. I'm just saying. So quit trying to argue with yourself and fight with yourself and say, how do I make them admit it? They not. Most of these men, they ain't telling you what they out here doing until somebody get pregnant. No, I would never do that. No, that wasn't me. Like you, yeah. She called you. Oh, I would never do that. Is you crazy? And then you think that she was hurt that you did it, but then you lied about actually feeling that skin. Yeah, you couldn't come out there. Now she dealing with you couldn't come up out of there. Yeah, now she dealing with that. Now she dealing with not only that, you play with her life. I'm just saying, now she's dealing with this stuff. You get trapped trying to say, how do I make them admit it? Bro, she will probably never admit it. And if we go to the men's side about the women, that the boy, she'll probably never admit it, bro. She'll have to end up getting pregnant or something. She had to end up, some type of proof, because she ain't gonna admit it. Nah. Because if she admit it, you gonna forever say she for the streets. Some people do stuff just like this. I'm sorry, maybe I'm too raw. I'm too raw? Maybe this is therapy. This is not church. Okay? I'm just saying, I want you to come on, because this is not church. This is therapy. We can talk about stuff up in here, because sometimes it be some real stuff. You be saying in your mind, how do I make them admit it? Start asking, what is their refusal? You need to, this is what you need to start asking. What is their refusal teaching me about the relationship? That is a good question for you. That's what you should ask. What is their refusal teaching me about this relationship? Some people rewrite the story because the truth would require them to become different. One thing about God, though, when you come to him, you got to tell him the truth. You can lie to everybody else, and you can't rewrite that story. that's one thing that's crazy. That he gonna hold you to it. He gonna say, look, you come here, I need the truth. I know what you did, but I need you to tell me what you did. I want to make sure that I be saying, what, God, why I gotta confess to you? I be like, why I gotta confess it? I did that. What you need me to say? What else I'm supposed to say? Like, it be crazy to me. You already know what I did anyway. You made me, yeah. I might have made a mistake and said your name, You was in the midst. Woo, boy, that's funny. You was in the midst, God. Why I gotta confess? You was in the midst. Woo, that's crazy right there. Boy, I'm sorry. I get to cut it up sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm laughing tonight, because last night I couldn't laugh last night. Woo, yeah, I'm saying, this be some real stuff though. This be some real stuff though when you think about this. I can't look over here, because I look over here, y'all don't know how to stop laughing. We gotta get big. We gotta finish this. We got one more point left. Write this down for me, if you would. Write this down. When accountability threatens the ego starts editing the story. I can't look over here. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, when accountability threatens the ego starts editing the story. And many women, they believe that they so clean and they will never do these things, and no, they will. And some of the brothers believe, I'm so clean, bro, I'm too sharp, I would never do stuff, I would never play with my life. No, you will. Accountability threatens the ego. So you got to edit the story. You will tell a little bit, but you won't tell the whole thing. And a lot of men, you get trapped here. You get trapped in there in your mind because you knew she did something, but you didn't know what she did. And so you spend days trying to make it make sense. Brother, go to work. She will never, bro, I'm giving you clarity right now. She ain't gonna ever tell you. And that's too much information. Because she want to look like a princess. Because we do the same stuff. We ain't finna tell it all. You might have told her you was with Mary Ann, but you ain't tell her that Mary Ann was doing some thing. You ain't tell her you were doing some thing to Mary. You ain't tell her. So this is be some real stuff. Accountability threatens the ego. I don't know one person who really can just be honest. Some people are more comfortable changing the story than changing themselves. Did you just hear what I just said? I'm just saying. The answer to this, I want to give you the answer to this. All right? I'm going to give you the answer to this. Now, what I'm about to tell you is the answer to what we're talking about right now. Trust the patterns. You can write things down for your own clarity when necessary. I would tell you to speak with someone who's emotionally safe. Stop placing your sanity in the hands of a person who benefits from denying your experience. Quit doing that. I just gave you the answer. I just gave you the cheat code. I just gave it to you. You got to trust the patterns. This person, okay, you might be saying, Mark, what you mean? Can you explain that to me a little bit longer? This is what you might be saying right now, right? Check this out. There's a certain pattern that a liar has, and it don't change. You've been living with a person long enough, they have a certain lying pattern. Every year, or every time you catch them in a lie, they do something specific every single time. And when they feel like you know, but you really don't know, they lie. But think about over the years and over the months and just put it all together. See, you need clarity in your life because you think that there is a hope that something is not this person gonna change. You think there's a hope somewhere, some down in there. Trust the patterns. Please, I'm telling you, it's the truth because that is the identity. Trust the patterns. And that is clarity. You can even trust the patterns of the dreams you have. And write things down when necessary. Speak with somebody emotionally safe. And quit placing yourself the way this up here, quit placing that in the hands of a person who benefits from denying your experience. And you keep bringing the same conversation up for them. For what? So they can keep lying to you? All you're doing is making things worse. You making things worse on yourself because they don't care. You making things worse on yourself. What? So you can just hear them say, so them could just lie again. Sometimes people, you get a little relief from a lie. That little relief from a lie ain't gonna give you no relief. You need to heal. I ain't do that. You did that. I don't even need to ask you no more. Nah, you did it. Yeah, I know. You done already told me. And that's the crazy thing. People think you born at night. They think you were born last night. But when you in a relationship, you just know. You can't tell me, bro, that this woman don't really know when you lying. Now, I'm talking about when it really matters, though. When it really matters. And she get to putting up and she get to telling the truth, boy, you be like, ooh, she on it today, boy. She just don't know. Let me tell you how a man think. A man be like, boy, she tell the truth, boy. God, that's crazy. I don't even know how she know that. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what men be saying in their mind when it's right. When it's wrong, men be like, she delusional. And she gonna hurt herself if she keep being like that, because that's ridiculous. And sometimes you can't help you when you're in la la land. That's a bad, and that's why I'm telling you, just trust the patterns. If you trust the patterns, you don't have to go to la la land. You go to la la land when you don't trust real patterns. You trust made up patterns sometimes. You trust I'm talking about the real patterns. I want you to drop 3 words if you're done arguing with rewritten stories. No more deflecting. Drop that word. No more deflecting if you are done arguing with these stories, these lies. That was my last whooping I got in my life though too. Yeah, I was about what, 13, 14? Might have been 12 actually. I was somewhere in there. That was my last whooping, Yeah, I think I was 12, Lying. Boy, I tell you, boy. Where I come from, they believe they beat beating the devil out you. Woo! They say, come here, I'm about to get the devil out you today. Come on over here. They go give me that belt. Yeah. I'm gonna get the devil out here. That's what they believe. I'm just saying. I'm from the South. Woo! That was my last whooping, boy. Hey, I tried to tell a story. And he done went down there and investigated. I ain't even know my daddy went down there and investigated. And then asked all the people the truth. And so when he come in the house, I'm set up. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what to tell him. Yeah, I'm finna get away with this. I'm good, man. I stole on Buddy at the bus stop. Yep. And I got suspended from school. So he was trying to figure out, was it justified? Yeah. I said, no, that he hit me first. I said, no, Daddy, he started this fight. Man, them folk, I'm talking about, man, I was so mad at all my friends. They done went and told my daddy the truth. But yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. Look, point number 3. We're going to get through this. This is the last point. We're going to get through this, lad. We're going to get through this. Real accountability leads to repair. Okay? Real accountability leads to repair, or its absence requires a boundary. Yeah, this is good. I wish I would have started on time tonight. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty, yeah, Somebody say PK Kid. Yeah, a little something like that. Real accountability leads to repair. Yeah. Or its absence requires a boundary. I'm going to have my daddy on here one day. Y'all going to be like, boy, this is crazy. We just going to have a conversation, It's going to be dope, too. It's going to be dope. I'm telling you. Because he got a personality, too. For real. Yeah. This is our third point. This is our third and final point tonight. Okay? Real accountability leads to repair, or its absence requires a boundary. Now, this is where we move from identifying the problem to answering it. Okay? Don't miss this. This is where we move from identifying the problem to answering it. Because some of you keep returning for one more conversation. You keep going back for one more explanation, one more attempt to make them understand. You go back again for one more chance for them to apologize with sincerity. And there is nothing wrong with trying to repair a relationship. So don't get it twisted. I never said there was nothing wrong with trying to repair a relationship. But repair requires ingredients. When you make a cake, you can't make a cake without ingredients. On this relationship, when you trying to repair, it requires ingredients. A healthy repair requires acknowledgement, responsibility, empathy, a change behavior. Let me tell you something. Acknowledgement says, yes, that happened. Responsibility says, I own my part. Empathy says, I understand why it hurt. Change behavior say, though, I do not want to keep repeating it. Man, when you really love somebody and you loyal to them, you don't want to keep repeating it. You don't want to keep, there's something in you that says, man, I don't want to keep putting them through this. Do anybody know what I'm saying tonight? When you really love somebody and you rocking with somebody, there's something you say to yourself, look, I just don't want to keep doing this to them. You understand what I'm saying? That's a change behavior. Without those things, an apology may only be a temporary pause. I hope you writing this down. Repair requires ingredients. Acknowledgement. Write this down. Responsibility. Empathy. Change behavior. That's the ingredients. If you're gonna fix your relationship, this is what it requires. Acknowledgement. Responsibility. Empathy. Change behavior. Now, I hope you got that. Okay? You got to understand, without those things, that apology is temporary. I tell women all the time, if it ain't one of these, especially no change behavior, baby, you in trouble. Some people keep saying, I'm sorry, because they want the conversation to end. They tired of getting woke up at 3, 4 in the morning. I'm sorry. They want the tension to disappear. They want immediate forgiveness. They want their access to you to be restored. But they don't want the discomfort of transformation. And I can't be with a person who don't want to be transformed. And this should be your mindset. I can't be with the person who don't want to grow and transform and become different. Every level of life requires you to continually grow. But if you're so if it's a discomfort for you to transform, you should know the relationship is no good for you. This is why the same pain keeps returning, because it's the same behavior, different excuse, same wound, different apology, same cycle. Real accountability does not only sound sorry, it starts moving different. Now hear this. Accountability does not guarantee reconciliation. Did you just hear what I just said? Just because somebody is accountable don't mean that y'all gonna get back together. And I think many people right now, you think this is a guarantee. Accountability does not guarantee reconciliation. You telling the truth and being accountable does not guarantee reconciliation. Some damages changes a relationship permanently. Did you just hear what I just said? I think you need to listen to this. Some damages changes the relationship forever. You don't went out here and you don't have baby on this woman, I promise you that relationship is messed up permanently. I mean, most of them, she's still dealing with you because she ain't got sick and tired of you yet. But she ain't loyal. You know, she might be for a little bit, but if she don't heal, boy, you in trouble. Woo, boy, if she don't heal and she don't turn to God and go praying and then get herself right with the Lord, I'll tell you, boy, you in trouble. I'll tell you, bro, that'll break any woman. Yeah, she out there doing it. Yeah, she told you she with her homegirl. Yep, believe her. Yep. Because I'm just telling you right now, you don't went out here and had a baby on her. But look here, boy. Hey, I'm just saying, unless she's super spiritual and she really care about her image, and she got a prayer group. But if she listen to Meg Thee Stallion, if she listen to Cardi B, if she listen to Glory, if she listen to any of them, boy, it's over with. I'm just saying, boy. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Had a nerve to ask me, man. You think she gonna forgive me, man? Yeah, she gonna. Oh, Jesus. Ooh, boy, I tell you, that's crazy. I'm trying to get through there. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get through this. I'm just cutting up tonight. I'm just messing up. But anyway, some damages, hey, it just changed that relationship permanently. I'm just saying, this be some real stuff though. This be some real stuff, you know. This be some real stuff. I mean, it's kind of obvious if she do that to a man, but some men, y'all still be thinking it's a chance. Like, you know, maybe she just gonna be, maybe she just don't care anymore. No, she care. Yeah. Oh, she done start going to the gym too? Oh, count your days. Count your days. I'm just saying. Oh, and she ain't changed no patterns and she listening to these artists? Oh, okay. Yeah. She got Meg gonna repeat, boy, you is in trouble. I'm telling you the truth, boy. I'm telling you, cause she done let Meg become her therapist. Oh, you in trouble. She said you don't need a man. I'm just saying. Let me move along. Let me move along. I'm just saying. Let me move along. A hurt woman is a dangerous woman, boy. You done went out here and played with her life. Now you got another child in this world, boy. I'm just saying. That's like the worst thing you can do. I mean, that's one of the worst. That's the worst thing you can do to a woman, and the woman worst thing you can do to a man. They go out there and disrespect him with another man. You know, you go do that special thing to another one. Don't think this man don't think he gonna be loyal. I'm gonna tell you that now. I'm gonna tell, unless he, you know what? Let me say this. Now he there. You know, if he around good people. Let me say that. If he around good people and he really love the Lord, you know, you good. But let me tell you, if he listen to any of these artists, he listen to Lil Boosie, he listen to Kevin Gates, he listen to anyone, oh, you in trouble. If he listen to these people on repeat, yeah, I'm just saying, if he listens, you in trouble. I'm just telling you the truth, baby. He ain't loyal. You done messed up in that relationship. That is permanently messed up, and it's gonna be out of whack for a while. You know, some patterns, it requires distance. Some relationships should not return to what they were. And this is the real truth. This is the real truth. Somebody said why in the comments. Baby, we'll talk about that after I'm done. I'm just saying, it's beyond repair. Some relationships should not return to what they were. But without accountability, healthy reconciliation is impossible. Without accountability, healthy reconciliation is impossible. And this is why I try to tell people, in a relationship, the only way that y'all can at least be friends and work some things out is somebody gonna have to be accountable in some form or fashion. If not, the reconciliation and coming back together and at least being good friends and at least, you know, having each other in his best interest and all of that, it's impossible. Because there's no accountability. And that's like disrespect. You cannot rebuild trust with somebody who keeps denying there was damage. You understand? You cannot create emotional safety with someone who punish honesty. Now, I know they probably missed a lot of people. You cannot create emotional safety with someone who punishes honesty. You cannot repair a relationship alone. And when accountability never comes, Healing may require you to stop repeating the conversation and start changing the access. And that could mean you stop sharing vulnerable information. You cut them off. They shouldn't know everything. They don't want to be real with you. They don't want to tell you the whole truth. You cut them off. Stop giving them vulnerable information. You tell them what they need to know. You don't think that a man don't understand when you stop sharing information? Man, you don't think this woman feel like when she's on the outside that she don't know? Sometimes when they're not going to be accountable for their actions and really tell you what the truth is for real, sometimes you got to cut it off. It is what it is. You got to reduce the contact. You got to change your expectations. You got to stop discussing subjects they repeatedly weaponize. You create emotional distance. Or, in some situations, you just simply leave the relationship. See, the boundaries, it really depends on the situation. Everybody's situation is different. But the principle remains. A boundary is not revenge. You understand what I'm saying? A boundary is what you do with the information their pattern gave you. Yeah. Write this down. A real apology is not designed to silence the injured person. It is designed to change the behavior that injured them. Write that down. I don't want you to miss that. Very, very important for you. Write this down as well. I'm sorry is not change when the same pain keeps returning with the new excuse. I'm sorry is not change when the same pain keeps returning with a new excuse. You cannot rebuild trust with somebody who is still arguing that nothing was ever broken and that nothing was ever wrong with them and that you just imagining things. You cannot rebuild trust with that person who's still arguing that they never had addictions and that they never had a problem and that you cannot rebuild trust with somebody like this. Ooh, I hope you're getting some clarity tonight. You just can't do it. How can you really, when you think about this, how can you really rebuild trust with somebody who is still arguing that they never had a problem? They was never addicted. You never helped them and you never did this, and you cannot build real trust with somebody like this. You don't know what they're capable of doing. This is what wisdom teaches you. Closure sometimes begins when you stop asking an unsafe person to become the source of your healing. Did you just hear what I just said? And you be like, I just need this closure. Closure sometimes begins when you stop asking an unsafe person to become the source of your healing. I want to give you an answer. I want to give you an answer to this third point that I talked about tonight. Write this down. Stop measuring change by promises. Watch patterns. And you decide access according to demonstrated emotional safety, not guilt, not history or potential. Let me write this down again because I know somebody missed this. I know you missed it, so I'm gonna slow it down again. Now hear what I'm saying really quickly. We almost done. Tonight was a little lengthy. Y'all know I'm always lengthy. I be trying. But it get good sometimes. I be telling jokes and time be flying. I'm just saying. Write this down. Stop measuring change in a person by promises. I don't care what they promises you. I don't care what they promise you. They tell you they not gonna do this and they not gonna do that. Stop measuring change by promises. You watch patterns. And you decide access according to demonstrated emotional safety. Not guilt, not history, not potential. You get it? Drop the word boundaries if you get what I'm saying. I just want to make sure before I go along that you really, really get it. Tonight, you should have a whole notebook of gems tonight. You should be sharing this with some people. I want to speak to this though. I want to speak to the part of you because there's a part of you that still want them to admit it. I want to speak to you. There's a part in you tonight. It still wants them to admit the truth. I want to speak to you tonight. You don't only want an apology. You want confirmation. You want them to look at you and say, baby, look, you was not imagining it. You were not too sensitive. I understand what I did. I understand why it changed you. Because acknowledgement would make you feel less alone in what happened. And I gotta be honest, you really deserve that. I can't sit here and say that you deserve that. I can't take that from you. But sometimes the person who caused the wound, the person who caused this pain in your life, they don't have the maturity to become part of your healing. Are you listening to what I'm saying? The person who hurt you the most, the person who scarred you forever, they don't always have the maturity to become part of your healing. Sometimes they are too invested in being innocent. They don't invest it too much. They don't invest it too many lies. They don't invest it too much in their story. So they can't undo what they said. So they have to remain innocent. Sometimes they're too uncomfortable to share because it's shameful. They're not proud of what they did. They're not proud that they for the streets. I'm just saying. They're not proud of it. Sometimes their emotional capacity is smaller than the conversation. It's smaller than, the conversation, it requires something bigger. But sometimes their capacity, their emotional capacity is too small for the real conversation. And that hurts. I know you want the truth, but this, I'm telling you, it hurts. Because you keep thinking, if I find the right words, you keep thinking this into yourself. If I find the right words, if I stay calm enough, if I explain one more detail, if I show them how deeply it affected me, then maybe they will understand. But if they already understand enough to know that admitting it would require change, maybe in y'all relationship, change in them. What if the problem is not your explanation? What if the problem is their willingness? That is where healing has to move out of your hands. You listening? That is where healing has to move out of your hands. Not because you no longer care. You're going to always care to know the truth. Not because what they did to you was acceptable, because it was not acceptable. But because you cannot leave your peace sitting in a courtroom where the other person is both the defendant and the judge. Did you just hear what I just said? You cannot leave your peace sitting in a courtroom where the other person is both the defendant and the judge. Your healing may require you to accept some things. Your healing gonna require you that they may never tell their stories. They may never tell their story honestly. Now I know it hurts. I do. But healing may require you to be like, look, they may never apologize the way that you deserve it. They may always protect themselves. I just want you to know you can still choose clarity. You got to tell yourself, and I can choose clarity. I can still trust what the pattern showed me. I can still grieve what the relationship could not become. I can still protect my heart. I can still move forward without becoming bitter. Write this down. Write this down. You may never receive the apology you deserved, but you can stop giving the wound fresh access to you. I just want to see a people on here today. You can tell me that I trust myself if you're choosing clarity tonight in truth. Tonight was a little heavy. If you're choosing clarity in truth, I just want you to come in 3 words. I trust myself. Because I know the patterns. You're not crazy. Yeah.